On Saturday, September 19th, the 4th annual Biketember Fest motorcycle gathering was held in St. Francis, Kansas. The event was sponsored by the St. Francis Motorcycle Museum, along with some help from Abate of Kansas. Many people enjoyed the various activities throughout the day. These photos were taken early in the day as people began to arrive and register for some of the various activities. Vendors of both food and merchandise gave attendees several options. Many visitors enjoyed the museum throughout the day. The St. Francis Motorcycle Museum houses approximately 135 motorcycles from many different manufacturers. The museum is also home to several one-of-a-kind motorcycles. Many youngsters participated in the Kids Fun Ride. The kids rode their bikes in town, visiting various merchants for their card draws. The 3 winners seemed very pleased to receive their portion of the $150 in prize money. During the day, several antique motorcycles were started and rode on the streets of St. Francis for people to enjoy. This beautifully restored 1950 Harley-Davidson FL was the first of 3 to be ridden. This was the rider's first experience on this motorcycle, so a few instructions were in order. Keep in mind, riding an antique motorcycle is very different from riding a more modern version. A foot clutch, a hand shifter, as well as throttle and ignition advance adjustments make the task a bit more complex, especially if you're used to riding a modern motorcycle.
Ride it, so I got to make sure I can start it. Roll your clutch in a little and then back if you can go in here. Give a little clutch to spin it a little and then drop it in a little.
A poker run covering approximately 130 miles was held. The initial draw was held in front of the St. Francis Motorcycle Museum. The route then traveled west to Highway 385, where the second draw was held at a stop just east of Idalia, Colorado. The third draw was held in Burlington, Colorado, the fourth in Goodland, Kansas, and the final draw was held at the St. Francis Motorcycle Museum. $1,100 in prize money was given to the winners. This is a 1914 Indian. Starting and riding a 106-year-old motorcycle is something you won't see very often. This motorcycle is one of only 238 built. It was built by the Indian Motor Company for competition in the Tourist Trophy race in England, now known as the Isle of Man TT. The inaugural race was held in 1907. Notice a few unique features of the Tourist Trophy model. The bike does not have pedals to start the engine as the standard 1914 model does. A Kickstarter is used. The bike has a special rear hub with a nearly frictionless bearing and a double band rear brake, one rubbing on the inside of the brake drum and one rubbing on the outside of the rear drum. Both the front and rear hubs have knockout axles, which allows the wheels to be removed without interfering with bearing adjustments. The bike has 7 horsepower and employs a 2-speed transmission.
This is good.
Yeah, it runs good. We've had it run. Big Red is a Pro Fuel bike running on nitromethane fuel. Pro Fuel bikes are limited to 195 cubic inch engines. This bike has recorded a best quarter mile elapsed time of 6.34 seconds at 225 miles per hour. The bike produces approximately 1,050 horsepower. The bike is started with a remote starter unit using a methanol spray. The bike is then switched to nitromethane. The bike burns approximately 6 gallons of fuel per mile during competition.
Go ahead.
Several different motorcycle games were held. The object of this game was to place a ring on each cone, go as slow as possible without placing your foot on the ground. This youngster seemed to be enjoying the competition, even though a foot on the ground resulted in disqualification.
You're supposed to stop. You're not supposed to keep going. Huh? You don't care if you leave? No, you don't give a shit.
Three X7, a 1980s rock and roll band from Waukene, Kansas, presented a concert in the Sawhill Park Bandshell. The band plays classic, modern, hard, alternative, and their original aluminum rock music.